Football. I'm Jared Waitley, and this is NFL. No, this is NFL Straya. I am your co-host, Jaymz Clements. I'm a guy still beside myself. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up this energy through to next week. I'm a guy here in the studio, once again decked out in some of my beloved Patriots gear. I dug out the beanie the other day. Realized I've got one extra hat.
Summer?
Yeah, well, I didn't wear it.
Oh.
It's in the studio, just saying.
Oh.
Just hanging out because my beloved Patriots are in the Soupy, which is still wild. And this is very, very, very fun because they hate us because they ain't us. Simple as that. And on the other side of this here screen, a bloke who got an Eagles tattoo last time. I think he won a Soupy 2 times ago. It might have been, actually. It is the sometimes singer in a band called The Ramshackle Army. He's usually up and about during a Super Bowl week because his team's usually in it, but sucked in. It's my team this year. He's my mate. He's your mate. It's Gaz. I'm continuing on with my insufferable approach. What's going on?
This is the most relaxed I've been to Super Bowl week in a long time. No, obviously a couple of Super Bowls ago, it was quite relaxed, but this one, we're not
Eagles Rams. We had that was pretty chill, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but the couple of Eagles ones, it's been this is all right. I'm not telling you. Look, it's not because it's the Patriots, but it kind of is a little bit about the Patriots. I'm on the Seahawks wagon. Like, I like it. I like the Darnold story. I like the completeness of that team. I like what they've been playing. And I'm an NFC guy, so Seahawks, I reckon.
I don't like where any of this is going. But anyway.
Also, I need a reason to just fucking rib you mercilessly on the 9th. So, there.
This tracks. This is our Super Bowl preview show. So we always do this each year. The week in between, we just talk out all the soupy vibes, right? Super Bowl, 10 best picks. But basically, it's really sort of going through all of those picks and sort of picking out some of our favorites, and then essentially just coming out with our picks for the game itself. Because obviously, we are hosting a huge big party at the Catfish in Fitzroy. So if you're not there, what are you doing? Come hang out with your mates Gaz and Jim. So. Right. Should we just do this damn thing? Because I reckon we ought to.
Sure.
All right. Without further ado, let's get into it. It's NFL Straya's Super Bowl preview. Let's go. This'll show Bill. I hate that prick. Oh, g'day. This is Bill Polian, a dumbass old bastard, and you're listening to NFL Straya. All right, guys. My favorite thing about Super Bowl, pre-Super Bowl week, 2 weeks, has been the haters out there being able to light a fire under my beloved Patriots by deciding in their age-old wisdom of being a bunch of bitter old shitbirds to not make Bill Belichick, the greatest coach in the history of the fucking game, a first ballot of Hall of Famer. So
that's fucking weird.
One hand, I could give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But at the same time, nothing makes me happier because it's lit a fire under the Pats. And also, it made Bill Polian look like the fucking moron he is. The dumbass, this is the bloke who was like, you know what Lamar Jackson should be? This is how much of a brain genius I am when it comes to the NFL. He should be a wide receiver. MVPs later, and Bill Polian's a fucking moron. That was the big news, obviously, the last week, is that Belichick didn't make it.
It didn't make fucking sense. I don't understand what the expectation is. But sure.
Obviously, it all is very... It's because they fucked up the voting process, right, of having, players X, essentially, everyone's going to go, yep, they've made it, and then having a number of coaches and contributors, etc., to the game.
Right.
Essentially, a number of those going into a smaller number of slots. It's just fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bill Belichick, literally the very definition of what a first ballot Hall of Famer ought to be as a coach. And Bill Polian and co managed to drum it all up in support and go, oh, Spygate. It's like, motherfucker, everybody was doing it at that fucking time. They're the ones that got caught. Anyway, and punished. And maybe kind of tried to do it a little bit the year after, but still. Anyway, amazing stuff. When this broke, I was like, not too perturbed because he's a Hall of Famer. Like, whatever. Then you're like, oh, he'd kind of feel a bit sad about it because he's such a fucking, like, he loves football more than anything. The history of the game, that's his fucking bag, right? And this is going to piss Belichick off so fucking much. I'm now fascinated to see what he does and what happens and, like, if there's any sort of response and shit and if he comes back to coach again. And I think that would be funny if he went, fuck it, I'm coming back to the NFL. Vote me to the Hall of Fame now, dickheads. Like, see what happens. But
I did like the memes around it when it was like, I think they posted that, what's his partner's name? Jordan? Is it Jordan?
Hold on.
Yeah. And it's like the fishing photo that was like of like him with a fishing rod and her as a mermaid. And it was like the NFL took one look at this and said, fucking nah. Anyway.
My favorite, I don't think we're going to, because we're not giving away awards today, but Outback Takehouse is very clearly that it was all Bob Kraft throwing Bill Polian under the bus and being like, I'm actually, I'm maneuvering in the dark just to fuck over Belichick one more time. So it's a weird situation, especially in Super Bowl week. But if you're a Patriots hater, like, I think the funniest thing is, like, this is the worst timing if you hate the Pats and, like, sucked in Belichick. It's like, dude, if you don't think that's going to piss off like that entire fucking franchise, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
That's bulletin board material, like 101. So anyway, speaking of coaches, guys, we've got, I think, most of the vacancies filled apart from Vegas. That's because Clint Kubiak is coaching the Seahawks this week. So what are your vibes so far? I mean, it's all a bit uninspiring, really, these last few, isn't it?
It's all a bit white, Jim.
Yeah. To the point where they were asking me today, Roger Goodell was like, yeah, we might have to look at that Rooney rule because this feels about white. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's a bit sketch. So of those 10 vacancies, none went to anybody bar white dudes. So, yeah, diversity is probably not the NFL's strong point right fucking.
I mean, we've got Robert Salah.
Robert Salah's Lebanese, right? But like Lebanese descent, but still. Like,
he's excluded under Trump's new rules. So, that's definitely not white. Anyway, I just, I know we don't talk about like too much assistant coaching here, but like the Eagles hired a dude as offensive coordinator who was a quarterback in the league in 2023, Jim. We've just gone from Kevin Patullo, who'd never called plays and was inexperienced at that. And so you go, you know what we're going to do? We're going to hire someone who's not only not called plays, but only been a coach for 2 years.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
So the other spots that got filled, Buffalo, they just went, you know how the problem was, like, we hadn't changed enough? We're promoting our offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Now, far be it from me to think that I'm smarter than, I don't know, Terry Pagula and Brandon Bean, but I'm just saying, guys, we're trying to find the guy who did this. And he's right there. Like, what is happening? That's insane. They just went, Sean McDermott, we need Shane. It's like, it's the same dude. He was part of the problem, seemingly.
Yeah.
You were fucking yammering on about how not to, like, the fucking playoff disappointments. Yeah, he was already in the building, bro. Absolute chaos. I love that one. Cleveland tabbed Todd Monken to the absolute shrugs of absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
That was, pretty on the spot as well.
The problem with that also is that obviously it cost him Jim Schwartz, right?
Yeah.
Because he was like, the only good thing, like that defense has been keeping them in anything that they're in for years. They've been keeping it in. Jim Schwartz is a fucking maniac. And he's just like, well, you know what? I'm fucking gone. So, but he's also a very, very spiteful dude from everything that I hear. So he's going to really enjoy going to someone who's going to fuck up the Browns.
Well, this is the thing. It sort of seemed like everybody who had interviewed for Cleveland anyway was like basically told by ownership, and you're going to have Jim Schwartz be your defensive coordinator. And everyone's like, but I want to kind of bring in my own folks. And then they went, all right, we'll get Todd Monken. And he's like, I'll have him as defensive coordinator. And Jim Schwartz went, the fuck you will. And fucking pieced out super hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not great. Not great. We also had, was it Mike LaFleur there in Arizona?
Yep.
So I think
some fun games.
The entire NFC West is now like McVay disciples, Shanahan disciples, and like Mike McDonald, which is pretty funny. It's just too many LaFleurs. Too many LaFleurs.
It's also a lot of Mikes and Matts now.
It's a lot, isn't it? The other one is obviously Vegas, and that's the only opening left now. That looks like Clint Kubiak. I think my favorite one is like Jesse Minter. I think as everyone sort of like had this pointed out, he just looks like Nate Bargatze, the comedian. If he was like cosplaying.
I get you, man. I know you.
It's a bit weird. Just a bit weird. But the rest of it obviously was Harbaugh to the Giants, Stefanski to Atlanta, Bob Salah to Tennessee, Hafley to Miami, which is still one of the probably the most moments, and McCarthy in Pittsburgh, which is still funny too.
Yep.
Anyway, that's it. Do you want to talk about any other news? I don't really give a shit. I just want to talk.
Do we want to talk about the fact that there's been a shit ton of Epstein documents released, and two of the owners in the NFC East have been named, and one of them wasn't Jerry.
So the weird thing was Bob Kraft was like, he wasn't emailing with Epstein. Like it's like he's discussed by Epstein as like, should we help out with like his defense and shit? And you're like, dude, like just imagine you're just sort of happily getting jacked off by someone in a massage parlor, and one of the world's most renowned sexual predator assaulters ever is just emailing about you guys. So, I mean,
well, there's the other one about Rusty Wilson, right? Where supposedly some dude reaches out to Epstein about, I've got this guy like Russell Wilson wants to buy your plane, and it gets published, and Russell Wilson has to immediately come out and go, whoa, this broker dude, fucking not today, Satan, I think was the words, right?
Brutal, so brutal. And then obviously the Giants co-owner as well gets named and shamed. Pretty fucking bad.
That's pretty bad.
To the point where the NFL will probably have to step in and actually do something about it.
And what's his name? The co-owner of the Sixers and the Commanders? Is
Josh Harris. But I think that was another sort of like sidestepped
in
one.
Passing kind of,
where he, I think, had been approached by someone who used to work for him for an Epstein like intro or some shit. And he's like, fuck no. Like, Harris seems okay and in the clear, but it's just all a bit of who would have thunk it that a bunch of fucking NFL owners and shit are scumbags? I don't know. I, for one, am surprised. Anyway, Soupy. Soupy. Before we do the Super Bowl, I've only got a couple of quick ones because the show that we're going to be doing, like the pre-show stuff that we do at the Catfish, I've actually got a couple more sort of like dig in deep, sort of statistical based sort of things that we'll chat out before the game, right? Just very, very lighthearted. I'm not going to go fucking hardcore on numbers or whatever. But how are you feeling about this matchup just off the top of your head, Gaz? Like just in general?
You guys have to play someone who's got an offense. So there's that. But you guys have also played some really brutal defenses that haven't given you any space in a couple of weeks. So I'm really interested. I feel like the Seahawks are playing where the Seahawks should be playing, and they're pretty on song. But I feel like it's going to be really interesting to see what Patriots team comes out.
Right? Yeah. Because I think the weird part, the way we sort of look at a bunch of this stuff is kind of strange. So to hit on some of those stats things, right? Like the Pats did average like 28.8 points a game, third best in, I think, yards per game and all that sort of shit on offense, right? But obviously had one of the best run defenses in the entire league as well. And it's really hard to sort of figure out exactly what they are compared to like like whereas Seattle just almost feels like a supercharged version of them as well, right? Like a really good defense and a half decent offense.
Yeah.
So I feel like going into this, like people are struggling to sort of figure out exactly how to pigeonhole both teams, if that makes sense. Like Seattle, I think was still a top 9 offense. Still, I think they averaged like 28 points a game as well, right? Like that's how close it was at the top.
Yeah.
I think in total points per game, it was like, they were third overall behind the Pats. And you're like, but overall, I think in yards per game, they're just a little bit lower. Their defense, I mean, in terms of like the points that they gave up per game, was top of the league, which is pretty crazy to think about considering the Pats have just run this fucking gauntlet of like the three of the 5 toughest defenses in the NFL. And then you've got to basically kill the final boss. And it's the toughest run to a Super ever. But the Seahawks gave up 17.2 points a game. The Texans, the Broncos, and the Pats, the next 3. I don't think the Chargers in terms of yards per game are like right up there in the top 5. So you have these moments of like trying to pass out exactly right. Well, because what we do as well is the 5 big matchups. That's one of the things we do in the pre-show. And you kind of like, well, the Pats run defense against the Seahawks run offense, which you're like, well, it's been fine, but they've lost to Zach Charbonnet, Kenny Walker, and fuck all else. You've got Darnold, you've got JSN, you've got Rashid Shaheed. So I don't know, it's sort of all a little bit up in the air to this point where, to be honest, I've just been sitting here for like the last week just going, fuck if I know what's going to happen in this game.
Does Gonzalez play on a side or does he shadow?
He usually shadows to the best of my knowledge. And you're like, it works sometimes and then other times it doesn't. Like you might remember the Atlanta Patriots game earlier in the season where Drake London just fucking dominated the Pats in Foxborough as well, right? And you're just like, Jesus, it's because there's a lack of safety and cornerback help outside of him as well. Like Carlton Davis will get fucking pinged for like 2 or 3 defensive pass interferences in this game, no doubt. And you sort of just get hung up on like, all right, well, Seattle can do a lot of things really well. The Pats can do a couple of things really well. I'm a little bit worried, but I don't know.
I think that the Broncos had their scheme last week was pretty fucking good. When you've got someone like Patrick Surtain who can just play one-on-one, just shut down corner, and that means that frees up safety help over the top to make sure that the other receiver is always double teamed, right? That's fucking. But not everyone's got a Patrick Surtain, right?
Exactly. God, he was good as well.
Yeah.
Surtain, fuck it up. Anyway, I think the rest of it. So you sort of just zoom out that little bit, and you're like, so it's both pretty good defenses, but then both offenses have like this ability to be pretty fucking good as well. And it's so hard to figure out if like the last 3 weeks of the Pats have been more indicative or if the last 3 weeks of the Seahawks have been more indicative, where the Seahawks have sort of been in these pretty chaotic high school. Like the Rams game was obviously the opposite of the fucking Denver Pats game, right? Where it's just like a free-for-all, free-flowing, speedy kind of game. But the Seahawks have sort of been in that sort of shootout time and time again throughout the season. And you're like, ooh, does that help the Pats? I don't fucking know because Drake Maye's got a bung shoulder maybe. And you're just like, all right. Like they kicked the fuck out of the 49ers in their first game of the postseason, 41-6. They dropped 31 against the Rams defense. Both those defenses had their, I think, worries by the time we got to them. But you sort of go through the rest of the season and there was that weird 13-3 Niners game at the end of the year. And you're like, is that just what this game's going to be like? Is it going to be like the Pats Rams Super Bowl in 2019 where it's just, 13-3? And you're just like, I don't fucking know. It's so frustrating, Gaz. So with that in mind.
That's fucking, it's so good. It's so good to be so relaxed on this side of the screen. Because I was in your position just winding myself in knots going, our defense has been playing really well, but it's fucking Patrick Mahomes and they're fucking, and now you're doing that backwards and forwards.
Yep. So I think when you look at the way the two teams match up, the 5 big matchup things that we'll talk about in the pre-show, one of them is obviously Vrabel versus Mikey McD. You've got a Mike versus Mike, which is kind of fun. But I think Vrabel probably gets like a hint of an edge there because we've seen him do this in the playoffs before. He's been a really fucking good coach. Does he have the horses, though? I get really worried about the offensive line for the Pats, obviously. That'll be probably the biggest question. And I guess that's kind of like one of the yeah-nahs here is like, should I just be worried about Drake Maye's shoulder because he's going to get fucking pancaked a bunch more times?
Lawrence is
Why?
Lawrence is going to come steaming through that line, mate.
And should I be worried about that, Gaz, to a degree that I should be just literally packing Dax? Yeah, nah.
Look, I don't know if I will. I feel like you're going to definitely try and establish a run game here, right? Like, you're not going to try and put it just... You don't want to get a shootout when you're got JSN on the other side and Darnold playing the way that he has. So I feel like you're definitely going to try and soften things up with May early. Some nice cheap passes, get the pass game going, but also run that double-headed monster of your running game and really try and maybe keep it under your you control the clock, you know what I mean?
So, as I said, like you've got these similar to actually the Pats, not the Pats, the KC Eagles Super Bowl last year of like, two top 3 offenses, top 3 defenses kind of thing, at least in terms of points per game that you're allowing and scoring. It does get down to this thing of like, all right, well, how did the Eagles bust open that Chiefs defense? And like, who's much more bustable, if that makes sense, right? And I get much more worried about our defense being busted wide open than I probably do the Seahawks. So
they kind of did that to the Rams, right? Put the foot down, put that pressure on, really push for that early lead, and then just have the opposition just chasing your tail for the rest of the game.
Will the Belichick snub fire up the Pats? Yeah, nah.
He was himself. I reckon Braves coming from that world will do it. I can't remember. Was it the Eagles Super Bowl where they made up like the 2004 where it was just luggage, right? It was just luggage that they'd all packed because they'd all been traveling and stuff like that. But I think the Pats took a photo of it and put it on the whiteboard and said, see, they're already packing for their fucking holidays. They've taken the piss that fucking much and just fired them up. So I feel like if anyone can use that to get any sort of energy, it's going to be Braves. But that, the professionals always say we shouldn't fucking need it. You should be giving 110% every fucking game. It shouldn't matter, But it's a mental thing, right?
Should the Seahawks be worried about Kubiak's focus? I love it when a coordinator's already got another gig and is like half out the door, because if that team loses, they cop so much fucking blame and it's hilarious.
Yeah,
you know this pretty well, Gaz. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, 100%. And but also lying about it with what Jonathan Gannon did and fucking said no, it's fine, and then it comes out that he's been taking interviews and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I feel like Gannon's a wanker, but I feel like a little bit more about Kubiak. They're going to be focused. I'm not worried about Kubiak. Yeah.
All right. I think anything that you can sort of like have in the locker room that's just a bit fucking sideways.
Yeah.
Like if it goes badly, like someone's going to cop it and that's it. And so that's just...
the fucking... Half the media's already written the story, mate.
If Darnold wins the Soupy, is this going to be one of the top 5 comeback stories of like NFL history, hasn't it?
It's pretty good.
Holy shit.
It's pretty good. Like, yeah, I mean, anyone who starts their career at the Jets is in for that's an uphill battle, right? But then moving around, how many teams he played for?
It's 4.
Yeah, but to be on that Panthers team with Baker,
the Vikings team is probably the craziest one, which is why they went and fired their GM this week, where they're like, "Hey, that plan of yours? Well, the fucking dude we let walk out the door is in the fucking soupy, and we had a pretty good defense. I don't know what we're doing here, man." So that wasn't great. And I also didn't really appreciate how fucking weird it was, where they're like, this guy took paternity leave when he had kids 2.5 years ago. You're like, what the fuck? During training camp, it's like, yeah, all right. He's probably signed all the dudes. He was still working from home. Fucking settle the fuck down. Anyway, I am currently wearing my Hightower white Patriots jersey, Gaz.
Yep.
The Pats are 5-0 in the white jerseys this year. last 21 years, white jerseys are 16-5.
There you go. That's pretty good.
What colour jersey the Pats wearing in the Super, Gas?
They are wearing white. They are most certainly wearing white.
Let's go. But my favourite one out of these, Nas, and we'll have like a bunch of them for the catfish as well. That'll be all a little bit more game orientated, I guess. I think we can all agree that either way, the biggest loser from this Soupy will be the Jets. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like, if the Pats win, obviously it's just like, you've been trying to do this for fucking ever and you haven't done shit, and you're the Jets. And if Sam Darnold wins with the Seahawks, the Jets like, dude, are you fucking serious? We had the guy. He was the guy. We used that pick on the guy, and we can't get another guy. We keep fucking losing guys. And I love that. So, sucked in, Jets. Anything else you want to hit on in year, Nas? What do you reckon?
Nah, I'm just thinking of Super Bowl MVP already. And I'm wondering whether fucking it could go to a wide receiver. Could fucking JSN just completely dominate this game?
And ironically, pull off a Cooper Cup, who won it in 22 in that Rams Bengals one that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. He's been like, he's just been fucking ridiculous, right? So, yeah, interesting.
Well, I guess if you're going to give it to any player that isn't the QBs, do you think there's a chance a defensive player could win the Soupy MVP? Yeah, no. Because they are very, very massively priced.
Yeah.
If that's your vibe. So,
as I said, there's something. I might just stick a sneaky couple of bucks on. I know it's a fucking interior defensive lineman's never gonna fucking win it, but just a couple of sneaky bucks on DeMarcus Lawrence. There's just something about it. Like, there's something about this story, as I've mentioned in the last couple of episodes, of like telling the Cowboys that he's leaving to go somewhere where he's got a chance of winning, getting ripped out by the Cowboys fans, and then still it actually happens. So yeah, I don't know. There's something in it of that.
I do like it.
Yeah.
Because I think outside of the QBs, we'll talk about this in a second with the best picks and everything. It is pretty light on the ground because JSN's obviously the big game breaker. Diggs on the other side is probably the one where you think about, well, if there's going to be any guy who just pops up and has like the 2-3 touchdown chaotic game as a receiver for the Pats, it'll probably be him.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the Gronk vibes of like someone like Hunter Henry, like he might get 2 touchdowns, but like they could be in the same vein of like a Kelsey sort of showing the last couple of times, right? Where it's like they were like a 12-yard pass and that's kind of it or something. It's not this, huge fucking game turning, breaking one like an Edelman or a Cooper Cup. Yeah. And on the other side for the defensive player, like the Von Miller Super Bowl MVP with noodle arm Peyton, it's, I guess the vibe could be there for Drake Maye if that shoulder is like still a bit fucky. I guess this is one of the other bits of news is that he had a bit of a bung right shoulder. He reckons he's fine, but of course that's what he's going to say 4 or 5 days, a week out from the Soupy. So I don't know. It's like this weird thing with like if Travion Henderson rips off 2 massive touchdowns like we've seen him do 2 or 3 times this season in a single game, maybe that's the sort of running back pathway to a Soupy MVP. Or if Kenny Walker does the flip side to the Pats defense, right? So I kind of feel like it is almost much more likely than in times past. Like you think about Hurts last year versus Mahomes. It's like if they win, they're probably going to give it to the QB. This year is much more up in the air, I reckon.
Yeah. It has to be pretty dominant. Obviously, if you're someone's got to pass it to the wide receiver. So obviously anyone who's got a receiving touchdown and a shit ton of yards, well, their quarterback stats as well. So it makes it fucking hard unless you are a one-person wrecking ball. Full of yak. It's just full of yak. It's just 5-yard passes that you take to the house, mate.
Exactly. I love the Cooper Cup one was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I still remember, I think I might have had money on somebody else for that game. And I am still kind of a little bit angry that they didn't get it, but it's all right. Speaking of which, some picks. Should we do it?
Let's do it.
I still just remember that Julian Edelman MVP was still amazing though. Yeah. What was that? That was the.
Is that the one where he caught it on his legs?
Yeah, that was like
Was
the amazing catch. I mean,
Was that the 28-3?
that might have been. Yeah, I think that might have been Atlanta, which is the one before,
Yeah.
which was still Brady. Anyway, best picks for the Soupy. We're actually just I'm gonna go through a bunch of like the actual lines and all that sort of stuff for a bunch of these players and sort of try to figure out the best 10. But the line at the top of it is 4.5, which we will make a pick at the end of this one. Hasn't changed, so that's one of those big indicators, I guess, though, that if the bookmakers aren't that concerned about May's shoulder, then maybe I ought not to be. I don't know. The total points over under, though, is the fascinating one for me because I have, as we talked out, you've got this like both stingy defenses, both pretty like awesome like offenses that can score lots. We know the Seahawks have actually played some pretty tough competition and put up points at the same time. We don't really know that about the Pats. So their 28.8 points per game is probably a little less indicative, perhaps, than the Seahawks. But the over-under being 45.5 total points, Gaz. Which side do you reckon you would fall?
I think I'm going to go the over. I think it's going to, I reckon it'll, it feels like it's going to start with people feeling each other out. And I feel like it can definitely open up in the second half. Yeah.
I was 100% like 13-3 kind of vibes earlier on. And then I'm just like, the weather's going to be fine. I kind of reckon it might go over as well. But that's what happens. You get much more optimistic as you get towards the game. Drake Maye. Oh, actually, let's do some Seahawks players first. Darnold. He's over under his 228.5 yards. It's probably not one of my favorite ones, but I would probably still go the over for the simple fact that I think outside of Gonzalez, our secondary can be thrown at and on. You talk about sort of bend, don't break a lot, and that's a lot of what this Pats team does and has done all season. So I'd probably still go the over because I think JSN could rip off like 160 by himself, right? And then you just like need another 80. So I don't mind that for Darnold. Would you go over under?
I'm not, there's something that there's something about your secondary that I'm gonna for Darnold I'm fuck it, let's go with the over.
Yeah.
Let's go with the over.
What I do like is that this is the sneaky good one. The rushing attempts. 2.5. If you think the Seahawks are going to win, jump on that.
Yeah.
That's 3 kneel downs.
And I reckon there's definitely going to be there's going to be a scramble or two in this game for sure.
Interception, yeah, nah. That's literally how it is. It's like interception, yeah, interception, no.
Nah.
Yeah, nah. His is $1.78, which is actually more than Drake Maye's, which is $1.73 for the yes. So obviously that is more in favor of yeses than nos. So folks, don't expect a clean game. I love the yes because I think both of them will probably throw one. And as
you're going to get a bit of playoff Darnold, not pumpkin Darnold, but a bit of playoff Darnold.
I think there'll probably be a bit of a chance for some playoff Darnold, but I don't know. I don't mind. I love the yes, and that's probably one of my favorite and probably going to go in my top 10. JSN receiving yards over under 93.5. That's such a big number, but I still think he goes over.
Yeah, I think,
Anytime touchdowns, $1.80 for that as well. And I like both. Just like even with Gonzalez, I don't think it really matters. Like JSN's that good. He's such a massive target for Darnold that I have a sneaking suspicion this could probably go pretty badly for my beloved Pats. Like that's probably like in terms of like expected outcomes, that's probably more likely than like the Pats kicking the fuck out of the Seahawks.
I think so. Yeah.
So if it does get a bit of rye, I think it's because JSN's gone off, and I think that's a little bit more likely. So I like JSN ones. Kenny Walker, the rushing yards is over 73.5, and I think the Pats run defense has like been the calling card, right? With Milt Williams out there, they've been awesome. When he's not played, bit shit house. He's playing obviously. So, what do you reckon?
Oh, that said, I still think he goes. I think it's still going the over because I still think they'll end maybe even with your run defense, maybe around the 120 yards, 130 yards, and without Charbonnet, like they didn't really have anything a lot behind Walker in the last game. So I think they just feed him.
Yep. The anytime touchdown for Walker is a bit of an interesting one because I don't know. I definitely wouldn't have it as a lock because I think Charbonnet was definitely their red zone sort of pass pro and also just like blocking red zone guy. Walker, if he breaks one off, yeah, cool. That happens. But yeah, I don't know. Because if they get into the red zone, I much more prefer someone like AJ Barner, anytime touchdown 350. What I do really like is AJ Barner 2 touchdowns, $14.
Wow.
We have a very small secondary guess. AJ Barner, big tight end. Yeesh. Don't feel great about that. Rashid Shaheed, though, I like this one. Longest reception, over under 14.5. How? What? He's not going to over. What are we doing here? When I saw that, I put money on it straight away. What I did like is that 60 plus yards for him is $6.75 for this game. I'm like, that's one catch.
Yep.
For Rashid Shaheed.
Yep.
I love that. That is one of my top 10 favorite picks in this game. If you want to go 70 plus, it's $10.
Oh, shit.
I am
That's pretty good.
So on board with this.
Mm-hmm.
The annoying thing might be that he just gets Carlton Davis time and time again, and there's like 3 different fucking DPIs called 45 yards down the fucking field, and I'm frothing, but still. Love Rashid Shaheed, longest reception. His 60-plus yards is one of my favorites. 70-plus I'm also pretty good with. Cooper Kupp, anytime touchdown. I like that a lot as well because I think, again, that red zone vibe of Barner and Kupp are probably the 2 biggest beneficiaries of Charbonnet not being in there, right? So I think they'll go to Kupp, and I think he's got a good chance of getting in. For the Pats side of things, Drake Maye, one of my all-time favorite picks for this one is rushing attempts over under 6.5. 10 in a couple of games.
Average per game?
It was at 10 for the last couple of playoff games. 6.5. I feel like, there's a bit of a scramble. They'll probably try to protect that shoulder a little bit. But again, the 6.5, if you try to mitigate, if you think the Pats win, try to mitigate any lost yardage from kneel downs by jumping on the attempts because it could be 2 or 3 more attempts, even if they're losing yardage. And I think that kills that over. So his rushing yards is 36.5. I think that's another over as well. We've had a couple of dicey ones in the past in some playoff games with kneel downs and shit. I don't know how that's going to go for us this week, but I like both those. Passing touchdowns over 1.5.
It's not a lot of confidence in your offense, Jim.
It's not. 1.5.
In a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'd probably steer clear of that because I'm not entirely sure. His passing yards, though, 220. I think if that shoulder's fine, I don't mind it. Don't mind the over. Anytime touchdown scorer. So he scampers in for another one. $3.60. It's a bit low down, right?
Yeah.
So he scored the only touchdown they had last week. But
yeah, true.
Interception, yes, 173. Probably the Seattle defense is that good. I reckon he might give up one. Hopefully not any more than that. Come on. Diggs receiving yards over under. I think I actually forgot to write those down. His totals are a little bit hit and miss.
Yeah, I was going to say, is he not all over the place?
It's very much like, okay, today I'm going to have a really big game, and then other times you're like, and you didn't see me here at all.
Yep.
You look at his game log. So he had, I think, 16 against the Chargers, 40 against Houston, 17 against Denver, 57, 32, 23, 101, 146, 28, 69, nice, 14, 38, 46, 105. It's just the fucking Diggs roller coaster. I'd probably steer clear of it. If you actually look at his number, however, as I bring it back up, I don't know. Cardi B's in the crowd. It's a big spot. I don't mind his touchdown spot, which I think is like, not too bad. His over under though is, what's that? It's be like 47.5. That's a tricky one. I'd probably still go one.
Yeah.
The touchdown for our man, Stephon Diggs, 375. That's much more palatable, I'm saying.
Not bad, yeah.
Hunter Henry, I like this one as well. $3.50 for an anytime touchdown. I don't want to touch his like receiving over-unders just
But when you get to
because
the red zone.
that's it. It's like red zone targets. That's cool. There's a couple of like bailouts. So he might get to the 30-40 mark, no problems. But outside of that, it's really fucking difficult. What I do like, so the anytime touchdown is just a big red zone target. May loves him. He could go for 2. I don't mind the 2+ there. Kayshawn Booty. Longest reception, 17.5. It's the same thing as the fucking Rashid Shaheed here, Gaz. If he hits him, he's going to hit him a big one. Boom. So he and his anytime touchdown, if you want to just pair those up as well, you'd sort of go for his like 35 plus yardage and anytime touchdown. I think you're laughing. Long reception for Booty is probably one of my top 10 picks again too there. Ramondre Stevenson, rushing yards over under. I reckon they try to really fucking have a crack at this, and I don't mind his over. I think they'll just try. Anytime touchdown, I think Ramondre gets in as well. If they're going to get in the red zone, it's either going to be Henry or Ramondre. They do the little crossing patterns every so often with Stephon Diggs, but I think Ramondre is just like the battering ram kind of dude. So not a bad look. If you want to get a little bit more exotic with the running backs, Trevion Henderson's what I mentioned earlier. Rushing yard over under is 17.5.
That seems really fucking low, Jim.
That's one rush and he's fucking gone, right? So I like that a lot. I like his longest rush, which is over 7.5 as well. If you want to just give him 60 plus yards for the game, that is $12. Wow. That is one rush that he just breaks.
Yep.
And Seattle have been broken every so often. So just saying, don't mind that. Anytime touchdown is $4.75 for Trevion as well. I will have a little packet of just Trevion Henderson money. And I'm like, and today we're setting this on fire, or it's going to turn into a lot of other money. That's the Trevion Henderson way. So, yeah. So those are my favorite. Like, those are basically sort of like really stock standard offensive player guys. The 2 touchdown numbers are interesting. JSN's only at $4.50, which is chaos. Kenny Walker's only at $3.50 for 2 plus, which is crazy. Hunter Henry's over that. He's at 9. Diggs is at 10. Not bad. So if you like him for a Super Bowl MVP, it'd probably be a 2+ touchdown as well. Same with JSN, but Diggs gives you a lot more value. First touchdown scorer. Who do you like here, Gaz? Kenny, Cup, AJ Barner.
I think I go Kenny. I think they as I said, I think Seattle's going to put the foot down. Obviously, it's who starts with the ball, but I think they're going to try and come out here fast. So I'm going to go with Kenny as first touchdown, which is, I mean, it's the shortest odds, but so there's justification to it, I guess.
I don't mind the Barner one. 14 is probably where I'll end up landing, I reckon. Cup as well at 13, so much more value there.
Yep.
A couple of other ones. A lineman to score a touchdown from either team. $16.
Only 16. When you're talking about first, some of the that seems.
This is just to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Game for either team.
I feel like that's kind of low.
I kind of feel like this might be a bit of a Vrabel special, where it's like he was a lineman who got used in packages every so often, scored touchdowns every so often. Might try to do the same thing. We've got Tonga as well. He's at $41 to score a touchdown. Big fella. I love a big man touchdown. But the one that is pretty interesting is any defensive/special teams touchdown in the game. It's $3.10. This is like, again, a bit of a Pats special, right? So I've talked about this all season. Every time the Pats, if they're going to win a game, and they obviously won a bunch of them, they look sketchy. They don't look very confident. Maybe they do a little bit of shit on offense, and you're just waiting for that one thing to turn their way, whether it's a fumble, an interception, special teams like fucking punt return touchdown or kickoff like return touchdown. Marcus Jones goes off his head. And the flip side is, Drake Maye could easily throw up a fucking pick 6 in this game, and I'm terrified. So I don't mind that at $3.10. Because every time you have a special teams kickoff, I'd be fucking frothing at that as well too. So. Defense, my favorite one. This is a top 10 pick for me as well. Marcus Lawrence to have a sack in the game, $2.10.
I'm putting on that.
Lock and load. How about DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams to combine for 1.75 sacks in the game? $4.50. I am
Not too bad.
really worried about our O-line, guys. So, not bad. But Lawrence Sack is a lock for me. Super Bowl MVP, as I mentioned. Darnold and Maye, your favourites, 230 and 335 respectively. JSN's at 550, so there's actually a little bit of value there, but not a giant amount. Kenny is at 8. Rashid Shaheed at 26. Ramondre at 34. Stephon Diggs at 34. And then you get into like the sort of extraneous Leonard Williams, Emin Awari.
Fucking DeMarcus Lawrence, $101. Let's fucking go.
That'll be a Gaz special locked in on Dabble for us.
Fuck, yep.
101 to 1 for a Super Bowl MVP.
Let's go.
Henderson as well as the other one. So you can actually find different numbers for this. I think these are the ones I just grabbed from Dabble before. Henderson at 101. Again, like as I said, I've got my bag of Trevion Henderson cash over there. And if I'm just going to like light it on fire, my $10 over there on his 101 to 1, I'm just going to do that as well. So Cooper Kupp 101, Marcus Jones 101 as well. You think about him if he has a pick 6, maybe a punt return for a real big gain, maybe a punt return touchdown. Fucking 101. It's asking a bit.
That is asking a bit. I'm just watching you try and convince yourself into this, Jim. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that doesn't fucking matter.
Bit of wishful fulfillment that one, I reckon. But
yeah.
Anyway, anything else you want to know about any of those before we get into the silly ones?
Nah, because I reckon we're going to go through this again on Monday. So yeah.
Before the game, we're going to be doing all this again. Coin toss. Tails never fails, baby. If you've been to the Super Bowl party that we throw at the Catfish in Melbourne, you know that we always go tails because it never fails. It's actually hit 2 of the last 3, which is pretty good. It actually hit 8 of the last 12. So, just saying, hasn't failed me lately. It is one of the most electric moments in our Super Bowl party.
It's the most excited you get every year.
It's pretty great.
That and the fucking length of the national anthem. Come on, keep it fucking going.
I keep it on. We'll get to that in a second. Charlie Puth, what are you doing, mate? Coin toss winner. I mean, that's just
sure. Yep, sure.
The Gatorade color. Orange is the favorite ahead of yellow, lime, green, which is combined yellow, lime, green. Blue ahead of purple, then clear, then red/pink. I don't mind blue if the Pats win. Might have a blue one. And then you think about, I feel like orange if the Seahawks go.
Okay.
It would fit if it was lime or green, though, with their coloring. Yeah. I do like that we have this one. MVP. Who do they thank first in their speech? God/a religious figure. I'd like to thank the baby Jesus. Teammates or another player/another player. The opposing team, being very gracious. Their family. Their city/their fans. Their coaching staff, the owner/organization, and then the last one is Trump, which is just like, oh, God. Okay. It's got to be God, doesn't it? Like, I think.
Yeah. It's got to be odds on.
Drake Maye, he's a nice young lad. So Sam Darnold. Oh, that's a good one, though. And the anthem length. Charlie Puth. We've got some evidence that he goes a little bit short. I did actually have the length up before. Here we go. Over 119 and a half seconds. So I probably actually pull the under in this one. Which is not bad. The first QB shown during the national anthem, Sam Darnold, Drake Maye. They've got them split at $1.87 there as well. There was a good one as well. I think on Dabble, if anyone has shown crying during the anthem, which is the Nick Sirianni special, I believe. That's
yeah.
Now, the tricky one. Halftime show with Bad Bunny. Number of songs, 11 and a half, Gaz.
Whoa.
So, Kendrick, I think, hit 12, 13 last year, right? Because it was all basically
all mixes.
Yeah. But the way that they judge this is they have to sing a part of that song with the melody behind it.
So it can't just be the riff. It's got to be okay.
under is actually the favorite. Just
There you go.
tricky.
Hmm.
Tricky. I'll probably still go the under. It's just a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and it's all going to be in Spanish, and so I'm not going to fucking know.
That's it.
You can tell me. Oh, you can tell me that there's 15.
That was like
20 songs.
different songs.
Yeah. I
All
don't
right.
fucking know.
All right, there you go. That's all of the picks. The turn best, I think, the Lawrence sack, probably the Cup anytime, the Byrne anytime, Rashid Shaheed longest reception, 60-plus yards as well. Darnold rushing attempts, Darnold interception. Put the entire Trevion Henderson in another package over here where it's just all yeses, all of that. But Boudet, longest 17 and a half. Love that. And the rushing attempts and rushing yards for Drake Maye, I think, gets us to 10. So where does that leave us, guys? Who are you taking in Super Bowl LX 60? Minus
Jim,
4.
I think I'm still riding that Seahawks wagon, mate.
That's right. You can be a hater. I've never done that to you before.
I'm not a hater. I just think like logic is sending me in terms of, I know you can say what you want in terms of how the run in terms of the defenses that you guys played, but you played some very, very shocking offenses on your way through. But as you said, you can only play what's in front of you. But yeah, I just think that I think on current form, there's probably 31 other teams that would struggle to beat the Seahawks and the way that they're playing at the moment. So I definitely think that they're the form team coming in, and I think that they'll win.
I think that's ridiculous. It's hard to get into why, because I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to be respectful.
I'm trying to be respectful, guys. I'm just.
Wow.
No, to be honest,
I got a Steven on the show. I didn't realize we were getting guests.
I am taking the Pats plus 4.5, obviously.
Okay. Yeah.
How confident am I in that pick? Not very.
You don't seem it.
I'm not going to be crazy confident.
No.
I do like my little Trevion bag over there because if he does snap one off, snap two off, we have a very good chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is, as I sort of said at the start, on balance, it feels like the Seahawks, having played, by virtue, a tougher schedule, some better teams. Yeah, they've had a couple of like hiccups here and there, but I think on balance, similar to the Pats, they do things really, really well across the board, but they kind of do them better. So, yeah, I'm a bit fucking nervous, and I'm really nervous about our O-line. Injured Will Campbell, banged up, shoulder. Fuck Drake Maye. Hopefully he's all right. And so it wouldn't surprise me if this sort of turns into the opposite of what we saw last year, right? So where the Eagles just ran over the top of KC and we're sort of done by three-quarter time. But if the Pats can make them play the way they want them to play, obviously they can be right in the fucking game. My biggest fear is that Seattle just comes out like fucking gung-ho and just like 2 touchdowns really quickly out of the gate. Yep. And we're really staring up against it. Yep. And Drake Maye suddenly got no time because Will Campbell's getting fucking pancaked every 2 seconds by DeMarcus Lawrence and go. And like Maye's just under that much pressure. There's like an interception again. And we're just like fucking, down 17 zip heading into the second quarter. And like our party is just, the vibes have changed drastically.
Oh, and by that stage, the screwball guy is being invited to sit on the couch with us.
He's just fucking...
and we're just...
me at that point.
Screwball to the cows come home. Yep.
But the flip side is, like, I think if our defense can actually just, like, get to Darnold a little bit, put him under a bit of pressure and try to make him turn into a pumpkin, if we can just stymie Kenny Walker as per usual and they try to make sure they go to JSN every time, and if Gonzalez can play pretty well, and then on offense, if we can, like, snap 1 or 2 Henderson runs or Ramondre and we can control the pace and Vrabel can coach the way he wants to coach the game, then, we can fucking win. So, I'll take the Pats plus 4.5 because we've seen the Pats in shootouts. It's a bit crazy, a bit fun. They've got the weapons. We've also seen them do those 13-3
grind out games.
Sort of grinded out games, right? Like last week, and obviously in a Super Bowl against the Rams in 2019. So 28-24, the Malcolm Butler Soupy was 11 years ago.
Wow.
10 years ago? Yeah. 2015, I reckon that was.
Mm.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie. I've very much enjoyed all of these replays. Like,
Yeah.
because I still remember the exact moment when that happened and me just fucking shitting myself thinking that they'd gotten the reception anyway and just like fucking hands and knees and then realizing, oh, fuck, Butler's got the ball as he's jumped over the fucking end line and then jumped back into play. I'm like, it just blew my fucking mind.
But when you're talking about things to rev up a fan base and rev up a team, like, do you think the Seahawks aren't playing that over and over again this week? Like, look at and playing the fans' reaction and saying, "Look at this is what we've got to bring these guys home. This is what we're playing for."
This is what they did to us last time.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. 28-24 would be good if we got that again.
Mm.
I don't know. I just want to take a win.
It would also mean that it hit the over.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, it would. Nice one. Was there anything else you wanted to hit on there, Gaz?
No, I'm really looking forward to this week. I've got to get all my work done by Friday because I am going to be doing nothing but drinking.
I like it.
It's weekend. Strap in for the weekend. We've got Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, and then we're crossing sports into your NBA, NBL thing. But the Phoenix are up there, like playoff all bound already at the top of this league. So we've got Sunday, got the basketball, and then straight into NFL on our big Super Bowl party down at the Caddy. Always all of the cheesesteak specials. Jump on their Facebook. I'm jumping in early for anything you want to pump. Fuck it. There's highball specials. There's Sierra Nevada specials. There's fucking $10 beers. There's was it $8 or $10 screwball shots or something fucking ridiculous. Whatever happens, you're gonna shit yourself and need to go home and clean your pants. That's what's gonna happen, right?
All right.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't be wearing white, Jim.
I'm going to be wearing this one. I've got the Brady jersey in case we need a vibes change at any point as well. So,
yeah.
What
is the are we going to do as part of our bets pre-show? What jerseys Jez rocking up in to take the piss out of you?
Oh, it's definitely going to be like who's played? Maybe
he specifically bought a Cam Newton Patriots jersey to rip the piss out of you. I reckon he's going to rock up. In that. Yeah.
More importantly, what about McKeegan? Like,
McKeegan.
It's just going to be trolling me. I like this.
That's it. Yeah.
At the same time, last year at the Super Bowl party, I did whip off this current jersey to show the Swifties t-shirt, Kansas City Swifts. So it's pretty good. But either way, so doors are open, I think, 8:30 at the Catfish. So we'll be there bright and early, sorting everything out, making sure it all runs smoothly. We'll be doing probably, 15, 20 minutes before the game, let everyone settle in. We're not going to be live streaming this one just because we don't have the production crew. So it's just very much like a fucking come hang out and drink some beers, talk some shit. We will do the prop sheets, however, which I think we give away $150 across the bar at the Catfish. I think Jez might still be owed $150 from last year. Yeah, maybe. I think he's also like run Gino out of cheesesteaks with the cheesesteak tipping. So, but it's going to be awesome. As Gaz mentioned, plenty of stuff going on. We'll be hanging out. It's going to be fucking great. And it's going to be really fun to watch the Pats win a soupy in front of everybody.
That's never happened before.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But anyway, there you go. Follow us on Facey, Twitter, IG, TikTok, YouTube, all the good stuff. Rate, review, star up, subscribe across all of your podcast apps, obviously. Big thanks to House Hats for the intro and outro song. Get around. Jim does Supercoach, NBA Straya. That's about it. Gaz, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Catch you on Monday, you dickheads.
See yous.
Go Pats! Woo! Later, Hosen.